Welcome back to the Rutgers Report. Coach, let's get right into it. Hard-fought game, at times a very winnable game, but ultimately Scarlet Knights coming up short. What are you saying to your team in the locker room after a game like that?
Well, it's tough. They laid it on the line for sure. It was as tough an environment as you're going to play in. With 85,000 people screaming against you, the temperature on the field was approximately 120 degrees. I mean, it was brutal. But our guys never, ever came off the chop. They just kept going. So you got to pick them up, right? I mean, you yourself as a head coach, you feel horrible, you feel awful, but those guys, they're the ones who put it on the line. Told them, look, we got to get our rest. Wisconsin's already got a lead on us. They were done playing before we started, and we had to travel halfway across the country. So there's a lot of work that had to be done to get caught up, and I think we're in the process of doing that now.
Is there any kind of balance of course, obviously the disappointment of losing a winnable game, but also not contentment or satisfaction, but just excitement that, hey, we could have won that game on multiple occasions?
Well, there's a lot of things that were positives. Certainly it's easy to focus on just the things that didn't happen. But when you play in the Big Ten Conference, there's going to be tight, tough football games. And, we had all the opportunities we could ask for to win the game. We just didn't take advantage. And I tell our players all the time, there's no such thing as missed opportunities. Someone's always going to take them. And in a football game, there's only two teams. So if you don't take it, they're going to take it. And that's what happened. We had our opportunities. We didn't cash in. And when you don't in this league, you're not going to win.
Now, Coach, a lot of chaos on Saturday. I know you guys are all about the chop in the moment, and right now it's Wisconsin week. But is it ever helpful as a motivation to look at the Big Ten and be like, hey, this is wide open?
Oh yeah, look, college football has never had more competitive nature than it does now, right? People moving places and going to different schools. You just got to worry about what you have to do this week. And as I've said to you many times, it's the Wisconsin season. So we pour everything we got into this season. We don't worry about the next week. We don't worry about last week. Everything's about now. But it sure is nice to be back in our home stadium with our fans. We got the best fans around. And I know that'll mean a lot to our players. We got a 12 o'clock kickoff. So, those are nice. You wake up, have something to eat, and then you go play the game. So I know our guys will be ready to go at noon.
Wisconsin, a bit of an offensive explosion last week against Purdue. What do you see about them? What are you gaming in on? What is the game plan, that you're willing to share?
Yeah, well, offensive explosion, that might be an understatement. Right? I mean, they lit that scoreboard up and played very, very well. They threw the ball, they ran the ball, they did things in the screen game, they did everything. So we have our hands full. I don't try to overanalyze it. I just see what's there. We got to stop this. We have opportunities to move the ball here. Got to make sure on special teams we're taking advantage of what we can, and then we got to go put it together and play complementary football and go get a win.
Obviously, this is the first game coming off a loss with this team. What are you expecting and hoping to see from your guys in practice this week and coming out noon kickoff on Saturday?
That is a great, great question, right? Because until you go through it with this particular team, you never know. So we're going to find out. I do believe that this is a very, very tough, resilient team. And I don't think that they're shaken by this at all. They're disappointed, but not shaken. And we'll go back to work. We already have, and we'll have a great week of practice, and then it's time to line it up at noon and see where we fall.
Well, Coach, looking very much forward to seeing how you guys bounce back. Thank you as always for the time.
Thank you, Perry.